Welcome back to Maine Tiny Homestead. Today we're going to plant green beans. These are the seeds that we saved from last year, and we dried them out and everything and saved them. So these are the biggest seeds that we're going to plant. I'm looking in this bed to see if there's a little room to plant them in here. There's some room in between the onions, but let me check this bed and see how this one looks. There's actually even less room here. In between the onions, I already planted carrots, and the whole back is garlic there. So I think I'm going to plant them in this small new bed where I only have a couple of tomatoes. So this is where I'm going to put the green beans. And before we get going here, I'll just show you the garden real quick so you can see what we have going. I have my 3 established beds already. One's got my herbs in it with the onions. Here's my little brand new one. I haven't finished that one yet. Yep, that's the rocket fire stove. And here's the bed that we're going to plant the green beans in. So this one, what I've done is I've just taken my fingers and with my index finger just drew like a line of where I want to put the bean seeds. So I'm going to actually stick another tomato in this corner. Then I'll plant like an L or kind of an L shape there, and then 2 straight lines over here of beans. And then I'm going to plant a couple of basils in between the other tomatoes over there. So here I am. I'm now just going to plant them in there. And the bean seeds are huge, of course, so it's easy to plant them with the spacing that you need. I'm doing about 3 to 4 inches in between because these are bush beans and they really do kind of bush out. And they take up a lot of space. So I'm just going to do about 8 in each one of these rows here, and maybe 4 or 5 on the cross rows there. Yeah, I'm doing about 8. And then I'll plant the same amount on the other side there. And you can see these are from my 2022 seeds that I saved. Yeah, and they're a pretty good size. These are the largest ones. When I saved the seeds, I sorted them, and then I had a pile of large seeds, medium seeds, and small seeds. And I'm going to plant the large seeds first and see how those do. And then when I do succession planting with the beans, I'll plant the medium ones next. So you can see that I've dropped them all in here, and since the bean seeds are pretty big, you can see how they're spaced out. Like I said, about 3 to 4 inches in between, because these are bush beans. And then we'll just push the dirt over the top and then water them in really good. And I'm just going to side dress these with some organic fertilizer here. And side dress means just really tip it on the side. Now the plants that I haven't planted yet, you can see there's a couple of those basils that are still in a pot. I'm going to dig that and put it in the hole. But the ones that are already planted, even the beans, I should have put some in first, but I didn't. So side dressing means I'm just going to put it next to an established plant and then just gingerly rake it in, if you will. And I'm probably going to go back over this with my fingertips just to make sure it's all incorporated, and then we'll water it in well. So you're just going to loosen up the soil so that the granulars can fall inside. And then the little piles I have next to the other plants, I'm going to put those in the holes that I dig to plant those in. And we'll be careful here coming around these tomato plants, side dressing this in. I don't want to go down too far and disturb any of the roots. And of course I have these cages on too, so it makes it a little more difficult. I should just use my fingers. These little tools are actually kid-size ones. But they're metal with a good handle on them, and they're great for these raised beds. You can reach halfway in with them, so there's not a lot of bending. So if you didn't want to bend these, really, you can do them standing up and do it like this. And if you're going to bend over, you can just use your fingertips and just scratch the surface and put it in. Yeah, but this is how you gingerly do it, just to what they call side dress. You know, the plant's already been established and planted in there. And then we're just going to scratch the surface and get some food for it along the edges of it. And that's how we're planting the beans today. Thanks for watching Maine Tiny Homestead.